The first time I took pictures, the flash was on. So all you see is me standing in my bathroom mirror and a flash right beside my face. Like, well, how the hell am I gonna do this?
It's a collection of coffee makers. Some of them would probably work if you spent a little time on them. Like myself, they've been through a bit. A couple have had a rough life. So, yeah, I sort of relate to them.
This is just the clouds, the skyline. That was a good day. Yeah, I was with both my children that day. That's happiness, that picture, for me.
Started using drugs when I was 12 or so. Started small, and then I guess by the time I was 13, I was using needles and got into heroin. Did about 10 years altogether, 3 separate penitentiary sentences.
At 18 years old, I'd already started going to the pen. I never pulled crimes just to make money. It was to see if I could get away with them. It was more a challenge, see if I could beat them, beat the cops at their own game. I lost.
I was in prison charged with conspiracy to traffic and cocaine.
Going to jail is a traumatic experience for anybody, especially when you're 17 years old. For me, that was a long time when you're young. You know, those are my best years.
There isn't really a day that goes by that it doesn't come back to me in some way, either a person I see or a feeling, and it reminds me of being back inside.
They don't see the real Giuseppe Cienti Sperosini that I am. They only see a person who was incarcerated for a long time.
I was always really reluctant to let people know about my past. If they found out, I would be ostracized, that they wouldn't really accept me, and they would just look at that instead of me.
The project was to take pictures, and to take pictures that triggered emotions, right? Whether it be anger, happiness.
The first one you give us like shapes and stuff, and I seen all those murals on buildings. Oh, that's pretty easy. But the second one you give us, you know, how do you show resilience, anger, frustration?
I just thought, oh, blah, blah, I'll just come to the meeting, take my $50. And then I kind of started getting interested into it. Go out, take your pictures, come back, tell me what you're thinking about, right?
With my addiction, I basically did the same thing over and over again for probably 15 years. So I was utilizing this program to give me the opportunity to learn something new.
I always thought of pictures before that they were just like, oh, that's really interesting. Oh, that's nice, you know. But didn't really think of it as telling a story, but that I could tell a story using a small little camera and walking around the city, trying to get a picture of how I feel through the lens.
I remember that.
This brings back a lot of memories. It's where I used to live. One of my friends still lives in that place. It's called the Oasis. I lived there for 5 years before I cleaned up.
The green door reminded me of solitary confinement. This is where the post-traumatic stress disorder comes in. Haunts me to this day, and I survived it.
That's just the old Woodward sign that used to be on top of the building. To tell you the truth, I don't know much about my history, right? Like my family history. The only thing I remember is like the happy times in my family. I remember that sign from when I was a kid. It's just a nostalgic.
That one's my favorite. It's a dog's life. And you can tell the dog is just loving it. He's eating it up.
How do you feel when you see that picture?
That puts a smile on my face. Because through all the crap, there's a little warmth.
This is my handsome son. That was the beginning of us getting reconnected. I remember sitting there in early recovery, sitting in the treatment center or the recovery house, just dreaming of the opportunity to have days like this.
I like this one because I go to Zawa every night and it's my comfort zone. For me, that's a sense of community. That's the owner. He walks by me one day, this big grin on his face, pulls up this big Texas Mickey and says, "Hold it right there, Sal, I want that picture of that." You know, because that's what makes life enjoyable, is those fun moments like that.
I try to keep it light, but at the same point in time, I try to keep it captivating. Pulls you in and you wonder what the hell's behind it. No, admit I had to spend a lot of time thinking, what's the picture of media? I had to put a lot of thought into it, and actually, it wasn't impulsive. I'm a really impulsive guy.
How does the photos help with that?
You get to actually focus on some of the things you have to change around. You have to actually look for things that are positive in a city and world that's pretty well negative.
Some of the pictures that I take definitely have both bad and good in them, but I choose to look at the positive side, but I'm not forgetting the negative side too, because without the negative side, I wouldn't be able to have the positive side. That was at Canadian Tire in Abbotsford, living and fixing, right? Because we're actually living now, right?
One thing I kind of started liking about taking pictures because I've seen the way I was happy taking them.
This has given me a reason to get up in the morning.
I was learning a new craft. You can learn more about yourself. You can open up your curiosity.
It's really opened up my eyes to looking at things in a different way and how you convey that through pictures.
It's giving me more courage and more confidence.
The process for me was great because I was able to connect with my child. My daughter really loves photography, so we got to go explore the woods and we got to explore the park and go see places that we normally wouldn't see.
I don't know if I'm reaching people or not, but it's making me feel better doing it.
If the public were to see the photographs, I would hope that they would see that people from inside had the same feelings that they did. That the photographs could just as easily be taken by them. They aren't all distorted, monstrous things. It's life, and you're just trying to make their way through it the best way they know how.
So that's what a Photo Boys project can do for us. It's helped change people's minds about ex-cons. Ex-cons can be the most creative, thoughtful thinkers. They just made mistakes in their life.